4, 3, 2, 1.
Studio Classroom is Please stand by. Studio Classroom is on the air.
Hey, welcome to Studio Classroom on the air. Your English will improve today. My name is Gabe, and today is a great day to learn something new.
Let's do that together. My name is Andrea.
You know, yesterday we began learning about some warm weather problems and what we can do about them.
Yes, pests like mosquitoes and cockroaches and things like mold that can grow inside your house.
You know, many people use chemicals to deal with these things. So our lesson is handle with care tips for using household pesticides. You know, it says that we should ask ourselves 4 essential questions before we start using some of these chemicals. Do you remember what the first 2 are?
Yes.
Okay.
The first one is ask what? What sort of pests or problems would you like to eliminate? You can get the most appropriate agent if you know what you are attacking.
Next, ask who. Who has approved this chemical for use? And we're not looking for the World Health Organization's approval, though that's not a bad idea. The main organization we are looking for is the EPA, which is short for
The Environmental Protection Administration. So what other questions should we ask before using certain household agents? When and where? Well, let's find out why it's when and where. Now, let's start our first reading.
Handle with care. Tips for using household pesticides. When? When should a chemical be used by? You wouldn't eat old food or take outdated medicine, so don't use a household pesticide that has passed its expiration date. Household pesticides break down over time, and their chemical composition may change, making them either ineffective or dangerous to use. Where? Where is it safe to use this product? It is important to use the chemicals in the areas they are designed for. When you are using an indoor agent, people and pets should be kept outdoors if possible. Additionally, the room should be properly ventilated, with open windows or doors during and after use.
Hello everyone, welcome to Language Lab. I'm Jack. 我们先来看 expiration date 这个复合名词，意思是有效期限。例如 ，This can of tuna is way past its expiration date, so throw it away. 这个鲔鱼罐头早就超过有效期限了，所以把它丢了吧。或者是 Check the expiration date on that discount coupon to make sure that you can still use it. 看一下这张折价券的有效期限，确认还能不能用。Expiration 的动词是 expire， 譬如 Ben let his driver's license expire, so now he has to take the driver's test again. Ben 的驾照过期了，所以必须重新考驾照。接着来看 ventilate 这个动词，意思是使空气流通，譬如We rarely run our air conditioner because the breeze through the open windows ventilates the house. 我们很少开空调，因为只要开窗让风吹进来，就能让屋子空气流通了。或者是 When frying food, you need to ventilate your kitchen, or your smoke alarm will go off. 煎炸食物的时候，一定要让厨房的空气流通，不然烟雾侦测器就会响起来。它的名词是 ventilation。例如 It is really stuffy in here, which means the ventilation system isn't working very well. 这里真的很闷，那表示通风系统有点故障。Okay, let's get back to our teachers.
Thank you so much, Jack. All right, friends, let's get right into this when question. When should a chemical be used by? You wouldn't eat old food or take outdated medicine, so don't use a household pesticide that has passed its expiration date. Now, we could also use the word expired to talk about medicine. You wouldn't eat expired or take expired medicine. That kind of has the idea of an expiration date there. But our lesson uses the word outdated. This word can have a couple of different meanings. In our lesson, it means it's no longer useful or perhaps even dangerous, okay? Another meaning could be it's old-fashioned or it's not as good as maybe a newer method that we have.
That's right. Now, you might also hear this word outdated when talking about fashion. Some clothing can become outdated after a few years. Maybe in the past it was fashionable and in style, but wearing it today, you might feel a little bit outdated.
That's right. Okay, well, think of another situation where you could use the word outdated. Is something outdated in your life? Talk about that in English and come up with something new to use. But we continue here. Household pesticides break down over time and their chemical composition may change, making them either ineffective or dangerous to use. And I think our author, the writer, is just trying to explain here why we shouldn't use things that have passed their expiration date. Is there another way to talk about something that's past its expiration date? Like, have you ever seen the phrase best if used by on something?
Yes, absolutely. You see that often on food that can go bad.
Yeah.
For example, a carton of milk might have a best before date or best if used by. Now that doesn't mean that you can't use it after the date, but you want to try to use it around that date.
Yeah, it's kind of a warning to you. And I personally really like those kinds of expiration dates because it's just, to me, it's just a suggestion. My wife says, Gabe, we need to throw that milk away. And I think, no. It's best if it's used by that date. But actually, it's a week later, it should still be okay, right? Maybe?
That's true. So it's good to look for that best before date or best if used by date. But sometimes on a product, you might see the production date because often a product will not start expiring or start breaking down until it's opened.
Exactly.
And then that production date is important.
Yeah, so it's important to see when it was made or produced, okay? So those are some different things to look out for and to know what they mean, right? Best before or the production date, or like our lesson says, the expiration date. But we continue here with our where question. Where is it safe to use this product?
This is a great question. It is important to use the chemical in the areas they are designed for. So a product is designed for a specific use or designed to be used in a specific area. When you think of your home, if a product is made for use in the kitchen, do not use it in your bedroom.
That's true. You know, the other day, I wanted to clean our mirrors. We have some mirrors in our house, and we've got kids.
Lots of fingerprints on those mirrors.
A lot of fingerprints. And so you use a glass cleaner for mirrors, right? However, we couldn't find it. I don't think we have a glass cleaner. And so we use just one of those like all-purpose cleaners for surfaces that are glossy.
Okay.
It worked okay, but it's not what it was designed for, right? Ideally, you want to get a product that is designed for a specific thing, right?
That is true. And Gabe, can I give you a tip?
Yeah, what's up?
Vinegar and water.
What?
Put those two together and that is the best mirror cleaner or window cleaner.
I'll have to keep that in mind.
Okay.
Vinegar and water. Oh, another tip. Use newspapers to wipe the mirrors.
Exactly.
Yeah, it
You
actually
got it.
doesn't leave streaks or anyway, friends.
Yeah.
Those are just some little tips for you. But we read here about this where, right? When you are using an indoor agent, people and pets should be kept outdoors if possible. That's a great point. Additionally, the room should be properly ventilated. And that idea is that you're opening the windows, the doors, you're making sure that the air doesn't just get stale and trapped inside that room.
All right. Well, friends, we have more to talk about, but for now, we're going to go and see our friends at the Info Cloud.
Hi everyone and welcome to InfoCloud. There are little stamps on food and many other products we buy. They are important to pay attention to, but they also have different meanings. Mania is going to tell us about 3 of them.
Thanks, Rex. You're right. There are usually expiration dates printed on products we buy, especially if they have natural ingredients that might go bad. An expiration or expiry date means the product might not be safe to use or eat after that time, or maybe the quality won't be as good. You might see the capital letters EXP or ED before the date, depending on which country it comes from. Another abbreviation you might see is BB. This means best before. So something might not be as fresh or delicious after the best before date, but it can still be eaten or used. However, if you see the words use by instead, that indicates the last date you should use the product. Take a look around your house and see if you can find these different labels.
我们在超市买东西的时候，都会注意产品上标示的保存期限或有效日期。在西方国家有好几种相关的字样，你必须熟悉它，以免买到过期的产品。例如 expiration date 或 expiry date， 就是产品会失效的日期，通常会用 exp 或 ed 来标示在产品上面。另外一个缩写是 bb。也就是 best before 后面加上一个日期，意思就是在这个日期之前，产品的品质才是最好的。最后，西方人也会用 used by， 意思就是在这个日期之前要使用它，或是 last 的字样来表示最后的有效期限。这就是今天的 InfoCloud， 我们下次云端见。
Studio Classroom is on the air.
Welcome back to Studio Classroom. I have a little quiz just for you. Which word or phrase or idiom or whatever that we discussed earlier talks about opening doors and letting the air in and making sure you open the windows too, so maybe you get a cross breeze and that there's plenty of fresh air inside the room.
I know that word.
The air is moving.
I know it's violent. Violent.
You're thinking of a violent typhoon.
Oh, that's what I'm thinking
which
of.
has air.
Yes.
But you do not want to have a typhoon in your house.
No.
But
no.
you want to have
You want to ventilate your house.
Exactly. That's very
That's
important. Let's continue with our lesson.
Handle with care. Tips for using household pesticides. The EPA also recommends that you avoid applying any chemical near food or eating utensils. Before new household pesticides hit stores, the EPA carefully reviews them to make sure they don't have any highly toxic ingredients. Safe as the EPA strives to make all the chemicals they approve, it's preferable to not have to use them at all. Avoid the potential risk that comes from using these kinds of chemicals. Keep your home clean, dry, and well sealed so that you don't lure pests or provide a welcoming environment for mold in the first place.
好的，再来看 toxic 这个形容词，意思是有毒的。例如 The government forced that factory to close because it was dumping toxic waste into the water system. 政府强制那家工厂关闭，因为他们排放有毒废水到排水系统里。Toxic 也可以用在形容人际关系上，意思是有损害的或是不健康的。例如 Pamela is in a very toxic relationship with Brad. I hope she gets out of it soon. Pamela 和 Brad 的关系非常不健康，我希望她能够尽快结束。再看一个例句 Several thousand people were treated for breathing toxic air from the chemicals that were being burned on the edge of our town. 好几千人因为我们小镇边缘燃烧化学物质而吸入有毒空气，接受治疗。最后来看 lure 这个动词，意思是引诱或是诱惑。譬如 Many people won't put out birdseed because it also lures mice and other small animals looking for food. 很多人不会在外面放置鸟食，是因为会怕吸引老鼠还有其他小动物也来觅食。或者是 The corner shoe store has lured many people because of its big sale. 转角的这家鞋店在大拍卖，所以吸引了很多人来。最后再看一个例句 Titan Company lured our company's most creative marketing person with the offer of a huge salary increase. 泰坦这家公司以极高的薪资来做诱饵，把我们公司最有创意的行销人员给挖角过去了。All right, let's get back to our teachers.
Thank you so much, Jack. Okay, let's get right into this. We're continuing with this where question. Okay, the last sentence in that section says, the EPA also recommends that you avoid applying any chemical near food or eating utensils. So this whole paragraph, this whole section is actually a good reminder for me, just because I don't often think about the fact that something I'm spraying might be getting on to something else that, I want to be careful about that.
Right, especially eating utensils, right?
Yeah, that's true.
Your eating utensils include a knife, a fork, a spoon, and for me, I often just have those out in a drying rack. I don't dry them, I let them dry, and I can see how if you're spraying something close by, that can easily come onto your eating utensil, and then where does it go? It goes in your body.
I have a habit of rinsing utensils or bowls or plates before we use them, even though we wash them before. Do you ever do that? Like just kind of...
No, I don't, but I think I need to start. Gabe, that's a great tip.
Yeah, well, I kind of learned it from the people here. When you go to a restaurant, they immediately take out a tissue and wipe off the chopsticks, right? Or wipe off the fork or spoon, even though they're clean utensils, but they've been sitting in a restaurant for a while.
That's right. And you don't know if that restaurant possibly had some chemicals that came close to those utensils.
Well, that's true. I was also thinking of the other customers that, who knew who was breathing what. But anyway, there are different ways to make sure that what you're using, your utensils, are clean when you use them. What is the next section here, Andrea?
Well, the next part of the article is before new environmental chemicals hit stores, the EPA carefully reviews them to make sure they don't have any highly toxic ingredients.
That's right. Of course, we're talking about household pesticides here before they hit stores. Now, we want to take a look at the word hit. The use of the word hit is kind of fun here because this means to successfully arrive at something. So like these products have gone from the factory to the store. They've hit the stores.
That's right. So they can hit the stores. I've also seen this used when talking about the internet or an online area. You could say the video hit YouTube and got 1,000 views within the first minute.
Yeah, or like the movie has finally hit the theaters. Everyone's so excited about it, right? There are different ways or situations you could use that word hit. But here we're talking about how these household pesticides hit stores. There could be some highly toxic ingredients, okay? A related word might be hazardous. Toxic ingredients certainly are hazardous. If something is hazardous, it might not be as dangerous as being toxic. That's just a little difference between those words. But yeah, there it is. Those are some great questions to ask. We've seen the word household so many times in this lesson. Let's see how it's used in a skit.
This is our house. Our family lives here.
Yes, this is our household.
We have 3 kids and a dog.
We have a very happy household.
Everyone in our household has work to do.
That's right. I cook the meals, I wash the dishes, I do laundry, I take care of the kids, I sweep the floors, I clean the house.
It takes a lot of work to keep this household running smoothly.
That is true.
I fix things around the house. I cut the grass, I wash the car, I feed the dog, I take the family on vacation, and I pay the bills.
Well, it takes a lot of money to keep this household running smoothly.
Having a happy household isn't easy.
Household chores and household expenses.
Yes, running a household takes a lot of work.
Yes, but it's worth it.
All right, friends, I thought it would be fun to end our lesson with a little challenge of coming up with a how question and a why question, because our lesson talks about 4 different questions that we can ask when trying to figure out what kind of environmental chemical to use or what kind of pesticide to use. So we have a who question, a what question, a when, and a where. But how can we use the questions how and why? Andrea, which question would you like to take?
I would like to take how.
Okay, how. So I'll come up with a why question.
Okay.
All right, friends, maybe you can do it as well. Let's see here. Okay, why? And Andrea, are you almost done? Friends, do you have a question? All right, here we go. On the count of 3. 1, 2, 3. What is your question? My question is, why do we need to kill these insects?
Okay, Gabe, that's a great question.
Yeah.
Okay, but I can answer that quickly for you because they are not nice.
Some of them aren't nice, right? But I don't like those big spiders, those laya spiders, but they eat cockroaches.
Oh.
Right?
Well, that's true.
But those aren't insects. Those are arachnids. They have 8 legs. So
Okay,
it's okay.
so let's not kill arachnids,
Okay.
but let's kill cockroaches
Okay,
because
cockroaches.
they do not belong in our homes.
That's right. Or those mosquitoes. Don't like those
Oh,
mosquitoes.
no, yeah, kill them.
Okay, now what's your how question?
Okay, I didn't quite finish, so I did a little point form.
Yeah, it's a long
but
one.
I have, how should you handle household pesticides?
How? How should we handle them?
Yeah, how should we handle them? I mean, we talk a lot about, yes, but should you put gloves on before you spray?
That's a good
Should
point.
you clean your hands immediately after using them, washing your hands? I mean, it's always good to wash your hands, but how should we actually handle it, or how do we actually put them out?
That is such a good question. And, if we had another day to talk about this, maybe we could address these questions, how and why, but especially how. I like that because you do have to be careful when using certain chemicals. Friends, what questions did you come up with? Talk about your own questions in English, and we'll see you next time right here on
Studio Classroom.
At all times, a good friend lasts a lifetime. I am so proud to have you in my life. A good friend lasts a lifetime.